Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to pull data from the web, clean it, dashboard it, and publish it online, all in Power BI, the new Microsoft way to view data. I have included the steps on how to follow along with this at xerva.com/demo. If you go there, you'll be able to see the dashboard that we're trying to build here, and a link to the steps. You can see a step-by-step walkthrough for essentials on how to build this dashboard. Found here, it'll take you to essentially what I'm looking at as I go through here to make sure I stay on task. You can see this is a pretty powerful tool. You can now embed it in your website, so you can use the Power BI dashboards anywhere in your blogs, your websites, your apps. It gives you an embed code in HTML, so they're really working on Power BI and making it very, very useful. So first off, if you don't have Power BI, go ahead and download it now. Pause if you need to until that's done. But in the meantime, we're going to go to three data sets, three websites. We're going to go ahead and pull it from a few Wikipedia pages. The 2012 Olympics, 2014, and then a table showing where it was hosted and whether it was a summer or winter game based on the year. So open up your Power BI, go to Get Data. It's from a website, so we're going to go to the web source. It asks for a URL, so go ahead and grab the 2012 URL, paste it in there, and hit OK. It may give you another window in between here that's asked between two websites. Just either of them works. For some reason, it hasn't done that since the first time I tried it. But anyway, you can see this is the table we want. Gives the rank of the country that year based on the total number of medals, gold, silver, bronze, all of that good information. So we're going to load that. While it's loading, let's go grab the URL for 2014. And that way when it's done, we can just do the exact same thing. Get data, the web, paste in the URL. This one's called Table 0. I guess whoever made the Wikipedia page just didn't name it. Let's call it 2014 so we can keep organized here. And then last of all, we'll get the that last table. Same way. So you can see it's pretty easy to get data from the web. I mean, we just grabbed three tables from three different websites in a matter of a minute. It's pretty powerful and pretty useful tool there. All right, Olympic host cities edit is the one we want, and that'll pull in. Now we have all three tables that we want from those three Wikipedia pages. So let's go ahead and add a column to each the 2012 and the 2014 tables. You'll see why a little bit later, but essentially we're just going to add a column called year and put the year that it applies to. And you can do that like I just did, or you can go to the data tab and do it in here by just clicking new column. Same deal, year, this time 2014. Purpose for that is we're actually going to combine these two tables together through a union, just so that we can have one data set to look to, so they're both combined essentially. The problem is before we can do that, you can see they have this total at the bottom of both of the data sets that we need to get rid of. In order to do that, we have to edit the query itself, and you can actually do that within Power BI. It's a pretty powerful tool. You can see, again, the totals at the bottom here. We want to remove that bottom row. This sometimes throws an error for me. Sometimes it doesn't, but you choose how many numbers you want to get rid of. We just want to get rid of that bottom one row. Now it's gone. And in 2014, it's got the same problem. We want to get rid of the bottom row. Just one. Now it's gone. Hit close and apply, and they're back. And you can see sometimes it shows you the wrong number of rows. Before it stopped at 50, it goes up to 79 still. I don't know if you noticed that, but now because those rows are gone, we are good to go ahead and combine those two tables together. To do that, we're going to go back to the modeling ribbon, hit new table. Let's call it Olympic medals. We're going to use the DAX function union, and you just put in the two different table titles. Essentially, they just have to have the same number of columns, and then they'll just stack them one on top of the other, and that way they're both in the same, and you can just tell the difference between the by the year that we added in there. So 2012, 2014. All right, now you can also see this NOC column. We could rename it country, but the countries aren't all consistent. Unfortunately, some of them have these interesting symbols after them. So we're going to add a column and just call it country. And we want to take the left characters in that NOC column until we find an open parenthesis within that same column. And then we're going to back off one. And then we can see it gives us the country name and chops off that bad stuff at the end. So you can change the data type all you want as well. We want to leave it as text, but you can also categorize it. And you can see this is a country. There's a lot of options here: address, city, continent, latitude, longitude, even. And we wanted the country option. That way you can actually see it now has a little globe symbol. And so when we want to put it into a visualization, for example, it knows what we're talking about. So pretty powerful, really simple, and pretty cool there. So we've created that new table. We don't want to clutter up everything here, so let's go ahead and just hide these. Those are all in the Olympic medals table that we just unioned together, but we just don't want to see them on the reports page. You can still see them on the data tab. They're just grayed out, as you can see here, but just easy to clean them up and get them out of the way. So let's go ahead and look at the data tab some more. We already created a new table. We created a new column. Actually, we want to create one more column in the host cities, just because you can see the summer and winter. It just shows the Roman numeral of which summer or winter games it was, but we don't want that. It's not super useful. So I already made this. It's in the step-by-step guide I showed you before, but it's essentially just makes it so you can see if it's a summer or winter games. Now, I didn't know this before, but before 92 and before, they had both summer and winter in the same year. And because we're connecting the two data sets based on the year, there can't be any duplicates here. And this isn't the best practice, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the duplicates because we're only dealing with years where, in the last 20 years, where that doesn't matter. So to get rid of duplicates, you can actually just go into the edit query option again. We want to do it in the host cities, in the year option, and remove duplicates. It's really fast, pretty simple, but it's essential before you can actually create a connection between the two data sets. It's really simple to create that connection, though. Once that's out of the way, you just grab year from Olympic medals, drag it over, and drop it onto year in the host cities. You can actually see what it's connecting based on here. In the Olympic medals, there are many duplicate years, but in the Olympic host cities table, there's only one of each year, and that's essential to make that relationship. So now that relationship is made, you can actually filter this information based on information in a different data set. So this is all pulled from the Olympic medals data set, but let's say we wanted to see whether it was a summer or a winter win. You can actually let's do a tree map. A lot more medals go out for the summer games than the winter, turns out. But the neat thing about this is you can now click on summer, and it'll update over here and show you apparently the U.S. got 103 medals in the summer. If you click winter, we got 28. If you unclick, it totals those up to 131. And it's a really important part when you're building dashboards, is to create these relationships so that the dashboard updates based on what you highlight. Really useful tool, but also just really important to make sure we do. There's one more thing in the data tab in the modeling section. We made a new table and a couple new columns, but we also have new measures. Say we want the average rank across the years by country. that's not automatically figured out because this rank actually came in looking like a text. So first off, we would need to change it to a whole number, and then it'll actually be able to sum it up. But let's say we didn't do that. You can create a measure pretty simply, just average rank. Average rank from the Olympic medals table. And you can choose how many decimal places you want it to go out to. And tell it that it's a percentage. Oh, sorry, it's not a percentage. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. And now if we want to see the average rank by country, you can just do that pretty simply. In this case, it's the smaller the better because it shows you're closer to first place. For example, the US is 2.5 on average. But it's really small that way. The thing that I like better for this option is actually to use this other visualization. It puts it in terms of denseness of color. And as you can see, it's the opposite of what we want. We want the first placers to be more dense. And so you can actually change the color so the minimum is the darker and the maximum is lighter. That way we can see, okay, the US is doing really well. And so is a lot of other countries, as you can see here. But you can hover over them and see exactly what their average rank is there. So pretty powerful stuff there. That's just creating a new measure. And we went over drag and drop relationships. Let's just show you a couple just common visualizations here. The table, it's as simple as it sounds. You just throw in what you want to see. So if you want to see country by how many, let's do bronze, silver, and gold, and totals that they had, you just do that, and it's pretty done. You can pretty simple. You can then sort by whichever one you'd like, and again, that'll be based on whatever you've highlighted, or if you've unhighlighted everything, then it's based on the total. I really like the tree maps for the sorting functions because you can use it for both sorting and for actually viewing the data, getting an idea of how many medals everyone has, for example. So I'm going to just make another tree map of country by total medals. That way you can focus on that too. So it drills down to the country here. I've noticed this recently. The filled map visualization it sometimes has troubles drilling down when you focus on a certain country. The map one, just the basic map, does it pretty consistently. So just so you know that's a bug still being worked out, it looks like. So the highlight feature is pretty neat. It's pretty easy to change the colors if you want to. You just jump into the brush icon. And if you want to make the US blue, for example, you just go find the US. Let's make it blue. Done. If you want to change the page itself, you can do it. Just don't click on anything, and it'll give you the option to do that. I'm just going to add a image in the background, fit it to the page, and make it a little transparent so it doesn't stand out too much. So this isn't really a well-organized dashboard, but just for the sake of showing it, we're going to go ahead and leave it at that. Now I want to show you how to publish it to the online, the powerbi.com. So you'll need an account to do this, but you just hit publish. You'll have to have saved it beforehand. I'm just going to save over another one that I did. Let's see here. Oops, that's not where it is. Here it is. Okay. I just have this one here that I'm going to go ahead and replace, and then it's going to ask me if I want to replace it in the online as well. I do, so I'll just do that. So essentially what it's doing is it's sending this file into the web application. I already had one named AAA. It's overwriting that. Now it's giving me a link to it, so I can just click that. Take me directly to the report in my online account. And it gives me the same functionality there to drill down and focus on what I want to see. You can also see that it has the same tools you can use. You just edit it. You can edit it online. There's a lot of tools that aren't available online that are on the desktop, and then there's a few that are available online that are not on the desktop. For example, you can pin this to a dashboard here, and that way it's pinned. You go over to the left pane here, and you go to your dashboard, and now it's here. The really powerful use of dashboards is this natural language query. So if I want to see something like total by country, and because I know the names of the columns, it makes it pretty simple. And then I want it sorted. Let's sort it by the total as well. That way we can actually look at it in terms of who's the best. So that's a pretty powerful tool there. You can do and gold. So we can see the U.S. is the leader in both total medals and gold medals, and Russia's the second place of gold, but China's the second place of total. So you can get some more insights, but just really powerful and really simple tool, this natural language query. Let's go back to the report level though, because now I want to show you how you can publish it to your website, your app, or just kind of anywhere you want to put it. You go ahead and hit File, Publish to Web. It gives you an embed code that you can just copy, paste into your website, or paste into your web browser here. And now you've got, oh, you know what? It hasn't updated. So the unfortunate part of this is, let's do this actually. I know that because I'd already made this, it doesn't refresh for a few minutes, but I want to show you what it would do the first time you made it. So it will give you this, and it's a public website. Anyone can get to this URL, and right now they don't really have a public site like a Power BI site that has all of them on, but they may in the future. You just have to say that's okay, and it's again saying that, and that right now it's free. So you publish it, gives you that link. I don't know why that visualization's having some trouble, but the United States, you can see, you can still filter using that tree map. You can still have the same tools there, and along with that comes this embed code that you can put into your blogs or wherever you want. So I just have a test blog, just to show you kind of how simple it is. In the HTML, just paste it there, and the preview is already ready to just spit it out and show you. So really cool. This hasn't happened before. I don't know why it's giving me trouble there, but you get the gist of it. It's a powerful tool, really easy to make, but really fun to use. So hope you liked the video, and yeah, post below if you have any questions or thoughts about it. Thanks.